This is a video for Dan Nutkus and everyone at Yankee Creek Ranch. I thought I'd do a quick video review of Connor at Aachen. Obviously this is a massive international competition, and Connor had a great performance there. We finished in 5th place. Some of the best horses in the world were there. Obviously I was a little bit disappointed. I really thought we'd finish in the top 3. By saying that, we delivered for the team. We got a silver medal for the US team, and some of the best horses and best riders were at this competition. The dressage was good. I was pleased with it. We didn't have the most ideal preparation. His big event obviously was at Kentucky 5-star at the end of April, and I would have loved to have given Connor a little bit more time coming back into work. It was sort of a pretty quick turnaround. Doing the big 5-star, and then he had a sort of a shortened vacation, and then it was straight back to work. Saying that, he pulled up very healthy and sound. He's a very strong horse, and he's still young and fit, so he was in good nick. I just felt like maybe for the dressage test at Kentucky, which we had a much better performance at, we were just a little bit more dialed in, and we had more time to sort of perfect the performance. At the end of this test, I have to tell you, as a rider, I was pleased. I was happy with him. I thought it was good work. I was a bit disappointed with the score. We scored a score of 33.8. This is by far one of Connor's worst dressage scores. Saying that, every rider at Aachen was complaining about how bad of a score. They were consistently bad, the judges, or consistently harsh. Usually Connor's in the mid-20s or the low 20s on a test like this, and it wasn't our best test, but it wasn't terrible. The judges sort of had a bunch of the horses on about the same score. We were obviously on a 33, and we were 15th place, and the first horse was only a couple of points ahead of us, so they had so many horses bunched up together. Looking at the test, the judges, see how his head's sort of nodding up and down. The judges were a bit picky on little details like that. This flying change that's about to come up, it was a clean change, but it was a bit abrupt. The halt rein back on the centre line wasn't quite on the centre line, so there was sort of little bits and pieces that I look at it now when I watch it and review it and think, you know what, They scored us tough, but he can do much better. We can do much better, and I thought I rode all right, and we had him pretty well prepared. But maybe we weren't quite as dialed in as what we were for Kentucky, where we got I think we were on a 27 or 26 or something like that. Saying that, it was a pretty electric arena. It was a big stadium. A lot of the horses got nervous, and I was a bit deflated when I saw the score, but such is the nature of competitive sport. We did our best, and I think I would have learnt a bit actually off this performance, even though it wasn't our best result. It was still a good process, going to another country on him and competing on foreign soil, and at the end of the day it was a respectable score, but Commando is capable of much better. He basically is a very gifted horse in the dressage, and anything over 30 is usually a disappointment. By saying that, all the horses were marked pretty harshly. So the same afternoon, which was a Friday, we had the show jumping, and all of a sudden my spirits changed. I lifted up a gear after Connor jumped this round. It's a huge stadium. It's like a football stadium, a pretty big crowd, and a very sort of challenging course, technical course, and Connor was very good. The time allowed on the course was challenging, so we sort of had to zip along. I was lucky that my jumping coach, Peter Wild, came over from America, and he'd competed there in the pure jumping back in his heyday, so we had a bit of an advantage knowing of how the horses would react in the ring and how the course and the footing rode and everything like that. Connor was brilliant in the show jumping. He was clear on the time, clear on the rails. So we jumped up 5 places. We were in 15th after the dressage, and then we shot up to 10th place after the show jumping. Connor's a special horse. Whenever it's really important, we jump clear. Often you'll notice at the little lead-up events or the practice show jumping competitions we do, Connor's not as brilliant, and he's a real legend when it comes to sort of being under pressure. He always sort of jumps a clear round when we really, really need it. He's a really, really good jumper. The cross country was challenging. Unfortunately, they only got the last sort of third of our course. So what you're seeing here is about, it was from memory, is like a 6.5, 7 minute course. And maybe it was 6 minutes 40. And Connor was brilliant. I really pushed him along. We had one major setback, which you'll see in a minute. We lost our stirrup. This is sort of, we're at about sort of 4.5, 5 minutes of the course. We've been going flat out, and this was probably one of the most challenging parts of the course. It was supposed to be a short 7 strides, and I'm sort of screwed it up a bit. I ended up getting down here on 6.5 stride. I should have steadied up more, and it kind of sort of crashed through the jump a bit, and I lost my stirrup. If you have a look here on my right leg, I've lost my stirrup and I couldn't get it back. And I can tell you it's the most uncomfortable, awkward, daunting feeling, losing your stirrup, and I still had lost it, and there was a jump in the water that you can't see there, and I had to jump it with one stirrup. I went about 45 seconds with one stirrup, which cost us a fair bit of time because I was hanging off to one side, and just before this double of corners I managed to find my stirrup, and then we were back in business. But unfortunately it cost us a little bit of time. We were still one of the fastest of the day. We finished the course I think in 6:43, so we had 3.2 time penalties. I think the time was 6:35. It was 6:35, so we were 8 seconds over the time, and woulda, coulda, shoulda, looking back on it, if I would have had 2 stirrups, I think I could have got the time. So it was an expensive mistake, but part of me was a bit nervous too because I nearly fell off him a couple of times with one stirrup. And Connor was absolutely brilliant. To finish 5th place and help secure a silver medal for the team was a huge accomplishment, and obviously very, very proud of this horse. Next step, we're heading towards Maryland 5-star. I'll give him a little bit of a rest when we get home here, and then we'll start gearing up to try and really blitz them at the Maryland 5-star in late October. I'll give him 2 easy runs, and then just work on his fitness a little bit more, and then obviously fine-tune that dressage test. But he's a very, very special horse, and very, very grateful to have him in the stable. He's a legend.